Okay, I'm going to be reviewing one of my favorite graphic novels, Akira, Book 1, which you've probably heard of or seen the animated movie of the same name. That came after the graphic novels, and the story is essentially the same, but this series is like 2,000 or so pages long, so there's a lot of depth to the graphic novel that couldn't be fully represented through the 2-hour movie. But I really like the movie and the graphic novel. If you've seen the movie and enjoyed it at all, even just for the visual aspect of it, you should check out the graphic novel, because the story is told a little bit better, I think, through this, and the visuals are also impressive. You can't really tell from the camera, but it's all hand-drawn ink pen, just very detailed, meticulous drawings. It's kind of depressing atmosphere. I don't think I ever saw a tree. The setting is in this futuristic Tokyo, Neo-Tokyo, and Akira, you don't really know what that means in this book, the first book. It's sort of a mystery, but this rebel group is trying to find it or protect it, whatever or whoever Akira is, and the government's trying to keep it under wraps and just let Neo-Tokyo be ignorant of what it really is. But the story takes place about 30 years after World War III, which was caused by an explosion that the government in this land doesn't want people to know about, but it was caused by Akira, and which is kind of makes you wonder about the dropping of the atomic bomb on Japan. It opens up, I mean, the first, oh, this is the color version. I personally like the black and white better, but the color adds a nice touch. The first opening scene, that says at 2:17 p.m. on December 6, 1992, a new type of bomb exploded over the metropolitan area of Japan. Which, it makes sense. Katsuhiro Otomo, the author and artist of this artwork, grew up in Japan, so it makes sense that most of the film and manga that's come from Japan in the past 50 years has been heavily influenced by World War II. Like Astro Boy. And I guess one of the messages of this book is Akira's basically means power. I mean, he's a character in this book. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but like one of the main themes or concepts is man's capacity to destroy. Humans have the greatest capacity to do either good or bad because of our intelligence. And Akira's is basically represents power. What would happen if you gave the power of human to ants? You know, an ant's mind wouldn't be able to handle it. They'd just devour everything in their path. what would happen if you gave the power of gods to humans. Well, technology essentially is giving us the power of gods, but our reptilian parts of our brains still want to devour and destroy everything and be selfish and acquire power for the sake of power, and that will ultimately lead to our destruction, which was another theme in this book, is destruction. Basically every page something's blowing up. There's never a resting point, and it's not really pushing any moral, I don't think, but I did kind of have the feeling that, like, some things are destiny. Certain things will take its course regardless of whether or not you want it to. You can't do anything to change the future. Everything that's going to happen is predetermined to happen a certain way, which I don't personally agree with that philosophy, but it's one of the positions that one of the characters in this book advocates, and she's not necessarily a good character or a bad character. Like most of the characters in this book, it's open for debate who's really good and who's really bad. The most interesting thing about this, though, is just the environment. The characters are good, but they aren't especially good. It's the environment, the cities, just the whole atmosphere is really good. It's a cyberpunk, futuristic, negative utopia thingamajig, and I highly recommend it. I didn't really talk about the story. Well, it's about a biker gang, and they're just a bunch of punks. They aren't horrible people, but they aren't good people. And one of the punks, Tetsuo, is a scrawny, weak character that's oppressed by the world. He, while riding his motorcycle, collides with this little scrawny psychic character who was kidnapped willingly, I think, by the rebel group who are trying to save these psychic kids from being tested by the government. And these psychic kids are all related to Akira somehow. And Tetsuo starts to develop his own psychic abilities after he collides with this kid, and so the government captures him, and Kaneda, Tetsuo's best friend, tries to rescue him, but Tetsuo starts going crazy with his new abilities and starts abusing his power, because before he was helpless and he physically couldn't do anything. Now he has the power of a god and can do whatever he wants. And I don't want to give away any spoilers, so just read it. It's a great book. And something else.